Imagine waking up in a town where secrets hang heavier than the mist. That's Black Hollow, nestled deep in the Appalachian's population, barely scraping 600, but stories, they're endless. Between 2006 and 2011, 5 children were found hanging from trees. Not lost, not missing deliberately staged, as if someone wanted to send a message. Now, you might be thinking, surely, in a place that small, everyone knows everyone. Someone must have seen something. Yet the silence here is deafening. Police call it a string of tragic coincidences, but ask the locals, and they'll whisper about a forgotten cult, the kindred moving like shadows through the pines. Tonight, we're going to peel back the bark and see what's really rooted in Black Hollow. Are you ready to step into the woods with me? Let me tell you a story. It's June 2006, and 12-year-old Tommy Reed goes missing after baseball practice. The search party finds him 2 days later hanging from an ancient oak at the edge of town. At first, investigators talk about asphyxiation and ligature marks, tossing around terms like suicide and self-inflicted trauma. But Tommy's shoes are missing, and there's a strange symbol carved into the bark spiral that no one recognizes. Parents gather at the school gym. You can almost taste the fear in the air. The sheriff assures everyone it's a one-off, a fluke, maybe a tragic accident. But under the fluorescent lights, you catch glances wide-eyed, suspicious. And here's the setup for everything that follows. Was Tommy the victim of his own mind, or the first offering in something much darker? As the town returns to uneasy normalcy, a question lingers: what was that spiral? And why did it send a chill down every adult's spine? Fast forward to the summer of 2007, another child, Emily Baines, disappears after a church picnic. Her body is discovered hanging from a maple again, barefoot again, a symbol carved nearby this time, a triangle inside a circle. Now, the term modus operandi starts floating around. It's police jargon for a criminal signature. But in Black Hollow, it sounds more like a curse than a clue. How many accidents make a pattern? One mother shouts at the town hall meeting. The sheriff stammers, and the air grows thick with suspicion. A local reporter starts connecting the dots, but her articles are yanked from the paper editor's orders. You might be asking, why would someone silence these stories? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's something more sinister, a town protecting itself or hiding what it knows. The conflict's clear. 2 symbols, 2 bodies. For the first time, Black Hollow faces the possibility that it's not alone in the woods. Step into any Black Hollow diner and you'll hear it: the kindred, an old Appalachian cult supposedly wiped out in the 1950s. But stories persist: hooded figures, midnight chants, rituals under the blood moon. Locals speak in hushed tones about ritual sacrifice and invoking the old ones. It sounds like folklore, right? But then, why do the symbols match those found in a 1932 journal from a kindred survivor? Now, you might be thinking, isn't it easier to blame ghosts than face the truth? Maybe, but here's a technical term: cognitive dissonance. It's what happens when facts and beliefs collide. Black Hollow's caught right in the middle. One old man tells me, it's easier to fear the dead than accuse the living. That's the tension here. Do you trust your neighbors or the legends etched in wood? So we're left with a question: what's more terrifying, a cult risen from the grave, or the thought of a killer hiding in plain sight? Let's talk about the official story. The police call it tragic coincidence. 5 deaths, 5 years, all unexplained but unconnected, they insist. The official term is statistical anomaly, but try telling that to grieving families. Investigators cite lack of evidence-seno DNA, no fingerprints, nothing but those symbols. But what if the absence of evidence is itself a clue? In criminology, that's called a negative evidence problem. Sometimes what's missing says more than what's found. Now, you might ask, are the police overwhelmed or looking the other way? Some say the sheriff's own brother was a kindred member. No proof, just whispers, but in Black Hollow, whispers have weight. I spoke to a retired detective who admitted, off the record, we were told to keep things quiet. No one wanted national attention. So here's the conflict. Protect the town's reputation or uncover the truth? For now, the badge seems to choose silence. Let me paint you a scene. Porch lights burning at noon, parents walking kids to school in tight knots, neighbors eyeing each other from behind curtains. Black Hollow's fabric is fraying. The technical term here is collective trauma. It's what happens when a group experiences repeated shock. Fear becomes the town's default setting and trust evaporates. Listen to the way people talk. It can't be one of us, they say, but who else could it be? Suspicion spreads like wildfire, friendships dissolve, church pews empty out. Now you might wonder, could this paranoia be worse than the truth? Let me tell you, one mother told me, it's not the darkness in the woods that scares mates, the darkness in our own hearts. As the years drag on, the resolution slips further away. Black Hollow's greatest enemy isn't what's out there, it's what's inside. 2011. The fifth child, Lucas Price, age 11. This time, the town's reaction is different. The search is immediate, frantic, desperate. For 72 hours, the woods echo with shouts and flashlights. Lucas is found in the same position, beneath a willow, but there's something new, a message scrawled in mud. We are the roots. It's the first direct communication, and it sends a shockwave through Black Hollow. Forensic psychologists call this an escalation. The killer or cult wants to be seen now. The spiral and triangle symbols appear again, but this time arranged in a pattern resembling a tree's roots. Now, you might ask, is this a taunt or a cry for help? Theories flood social media. Some claim it's a generational curse, others a call to remember the kindred's original sin. But one thing's clear, the cycle hasn't been broken. If anything, the mystery is growing deeper, its roots spreading wider. So where does this leave us? 5 children gone, 5 symbols carved into living wood, and a town that still flinches at every snap of a twig. The unresolved status is called a cold case. That's the technical term, but for Black Hollow, it's a wound that never scabs over. You might be thinking, is there still hope for answers? I believe there is. Secrets have a way of surfacing, sometimes through confession, sometimes through persistence, sometimes, heartbreakingly, through tragedy. Let me leave you with this. Every tree in Black Hollow bears scars, some visible, some hidden under rough bark. But scars are stories, and stories demand to be told. If you ever find yourself on a foggy Appalachian road, remember the hanged children and the roots that still stir beneath Black Hollow's soil.